I also want to talk about your extensive, career. We touched on it a little bit just then. Like you've you've obviously worked with the sisters for like over 20 years, but then you've also got Diamond Black, you've got other projects and you do session work. You are a busy guy, as we talked about. So how would you say, I suppose it's a similar line of questioning the before, like how would you say you've changed and developed as a person since the beginning of your career and all the stuff you were doing back then to now fitting in session work, fitting in sister stuff, fitting in your own projects and touring and grafting as you're doing now. So how have you changed and developed? What have you learned about yourself from the beginning of your career till where you are now?
Well, I'd say straight away, I would say a huge change that I've brought about in the last few years is the phrase progress, not perfection.
Right.
And being able to recognize that just getting on with stuff and it not necessarily being the best it could possibly be right now is part of the making of it happening. And that recognition that some of the works that we look to, that we really admire, that we venerate, whether that be movie or book or video, it's probably not the perfect way that the person wanted it to be. But they got on with it and they did it and they finished it and then moved on to the next thing. So progress, not perfection, is really important to me. Picking battles as well is really important to me. Recognizing that when is the right time to really fight for the thing that you believe for a certain project, and when is the time to go, actually, if I can recognize that this is more important to the other person.
Right.
And in order for the bigger picture to work, I can make a sacrifice there. Maybe I didn't want that to be red. I wanted it to be purple, but how important really is it if that person really wants it to be that color? Recognizing those times of when it's okay to to make those sacrifices and compromises if they're not as important to you as some other things.
Right.
And also a sense of not needing to take ownership for when things go well for the project. So what I mean by that is we all have this urge that if there's a good idea, we want everybody to know it was our idea. And sometimes we'll fight for our ideas just because they're our ideas, even if they're not necessarily the right idea. And it's being able to recognize that it's just important that it gets done, not that everybody knows it was my idea. Is something that I've struggled with for a long time. And I've many years of like, but people must know that I came up with this. No one cares. What they care about is what the end product makes them feel.